What's going on, everyone? Just wanted to start this video off by saying Merry Christmas to all of you. I hope you have a fantastic day today, spend loads of time with loved ones and eat some of the most amazing foods. I also wanted to say a huge thank you to every single one of you that's chosen to subscribe to the channel over the past year and a half. I never would have thought that I'd gain so many subscribers, and especially in such a short little time. All I wanted to do with this channel was just have a place to express myself, take my mind off things, cook the food I love, and maybe teach you a thing or two. And judging by the love and support that you give this channel, it's just so heartwarming, and I seriously couldn't be more appreciative of all of you. So thank you so much. You've literally changed my life. So in this video, we're going to be doing a Q&A. I was supposed to be doing this at 100,000 subscribers, but things got in the way. I had work commitments, I was making content for you guys, and also I'm working on a website, which I'll talk about at the end of this video. Now we're at 150,000 subscribers, so I thought, why not make a Q&A on Christmas Day? Alright, so the first question is, what inspired me to become a chef or even start cooking? Becoming a chef would be to do with my brother. He is a qualified chef as well, and not anymore, but was in the past. And just seeing him cook in the kitchen really was just enough to ignite a spark for me. He'd always put that extra little flair into the food. It wasn't just like your basic foods. It was always like something little special. The textures, the flavors, the colors, just everything about it was different, and it just really made me want to go down that path. My parents did always cook for us as well, and everything they did for us was fantastic. So I've always had a love for food really since I was probably about like 7 or 8 years old. What inspired me to start the channel? Literally just be the love for the craft really. Just wanted a place to express myself, show off what I can do, and hopefully teach you guys a thing or two. What's easy to teach and what's hard to teach? Okay, so easy would be like recipes, cutting techniques, and certain skills in like certain areas of a kitchen. And definitely hard would be teaching someone experience, because you can't teach someone experience. It just comes with time. Everything that you do in life, like the longer you do something, the better you're gonna get at it, and that's exactly what happens in the kitchen. How many liters of stock do I have in the fridge at any one time? Not that many really. It's usually about 1 or 2. Most of the scraps that I use in the videos I do just put into a compost and just use for the garden really. How often do I clean my kitchen and equipment? Literally every time I use it. Like the second I use something, I'll clean it straight away. That's why the stovetop and the oven's always spotless. What is my favorite cuisine, and do I plan to come to India? Okay, so my favorite cuisine is Vietnamese or anything Asian. Just the flavors, the colors, and the textures of all the food is just absolutely incredible. And do I plan to come to India? Yes, definitely. Everything that like to do with food in that place is just absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see all the different flavors, all the different techniques that you guys use. It is really amazing. Do I like Adelaide, and have I visited much of Australia? Yeah, I really do like Adelaide actually. It's nice and small, everything's nice and close by, and it's really quiet. And with the rest of Australia, I've only ever been to Queensland, Sydney and Melbourne, which I'm actually flying to Melbourne tomorrow as well. So if anyone knows any good places to go in Melbourne, leave them in the comment section below, because I'll be doing a little bit of filming there and hopefully make a video for you guys just showing off some of the like the food, the art, and just around Melbourne. Obviously I won't make it not content for this channel, but I do want to make it somewhat food related. What was my favorite food growing up, and what is my lazy go-to food? Okay, so my favorite food growing up would definitely have to be spaghetti bolognese. I probably had that like 2 or 3 times a week. My lazy go-to food would definitely have to be burgers. I probably eat burgers like 2-3 times a week even now, which is pretty bad. What part of Britain am I from, and do I plan to make prep batch meals? I'm from Cambridge in England, and yes, definitely I plan to make prep batch meals. At the moment I don't have enough time, but in the future I definitely will, because I'm going to be doing YouTube full time very, very soon, so I'll have so much more time to be able to make so much more content for you guys. Can I make some breakfast recipes? Yes, definitely. How do I clean my pots and pans? Okay, so I use this stuff here, which is a stainless steel and copper cleaner. It's like a little powder that you sprinkle in the pans, and then I use a really fine grit sponge and just scrub really, and all of the scum, any build-up comes off straight away and looks sparkly clean. How would I recommend starting a cooking career? Okay, so the thing that you'd want to do is look in your local area to see if there's any cooking schools or like apprenticeship boards, and contact them directly. Or you can go to like a local cafe, pub, restaurant, or any establishment that's to do with cooking, and literally just ask them for a job and see if they can take you on board and train you up, and maybe they can even send you to school, which your employer should pay for as well. That's Australia though, I don't know, I'm not too sure about other parts of the world, but yeah, just go into a restaurant or a cafe or anything like that, ask for a job, or just contact a local apprenticeship board or cooking school. Did I start as an apprentice, and what are the three most important factors when completing a chef's apprenticeship? Okay, so yeah, I did start as an apprentice. I was 16 years old at the time and dropped out of high school and went straight into it. And I'd say probably anyone you ask this question to is going to say a different answer, but I'd say in my opinion, the most important factors would have to be like gaining as much knowledge as you can from anyone in your surroundings, asking as many questions as possible, because if you've got the right person to teach you, they will literally share you everything they know, and always trying to be better than the previous day. Really, that's it. Do you think I can get a cooking career if I have zero knowledge? Yes, definitely. I had absolutely no skill whatsoever, no knowledge in cooking when I first started. Obviously, you know the basics and all of that, but technique and experience is just completely out the window. I remember, I'll tell you a funny story. I remember cooking a schnitzel or a palmy, like the one I did in the video, like ages ago, and I put it in a deep fryer set to 240 degrees Celsius, which is the highest temperature it can go to, when really it should only be at like 160 degrees Celsius for like when you're deep frying a whole chicken breast. And I nearly set the whole deep fryer on fire, and I served up the chicken and it was like golden brown. And then I cut open the chicken and it was completely raw on the inside. So yeah, definitely you can start a cooking career if you have zero knowledge. What is my favorite beer and top food pairing drink? Okay, so at the moment, I'd say my favorite beer is Budweiser. And when it comes to pairing drinks, obviously it really depends on what you're eating. So if you're having beef, it'll be like a nice glass of red wine, or if you're having pork, seafood, and chicken, like white wine usually goes with them. But to be honest with you, I can't really say, because everyone is different. Everyone likes different things. I'm starting a new cooking channel on YouTube. What tips and advice would I give? Okay, so I'd have to say, be ready to commit to it, because it's a lot of work. Some videos take like 72 hours to make, and like that's just the filming part. And then some videos take weeks to edit. Obviously it depends on the content you're making, but the main thing is definitely consistency. Once you start uploading, make sure you keep uploading and try and stick to a schedule. Also, obviously make engaging content so people can either relate to that or just something they really find interest to. What would I consider my favorite Southern dish, and would I ever do a live stream cooking show? Okay, so this is a tough question really. I love Southern fried chicken. Obviously that's going to be a main answer, but really anything to do with beef and chicken, that's my favorite. And with a live stream, obviously right now I don't have enough time to do that, but definitely in the future I will plan on doing this. Would I ever collaborate with other YouTubers? Definitely. If anyone does want to collaborate, I'll leave my email in the description below of this video. So send me an email on there and we can discuss this further. Do I want to leave Australia? At this current time, no, not really, because where I am, I'm extremely comfortable. I have my family here. Obviously, you do have to step out your comfort zone sometimes to gain more knowledge and have benefits in the future. But right now I'm able to learn more, I'm comfortable, and yeah, that's it. Am I married or have kids? No, I'm not married, but I do have a girlfriend, and no, I don't have kids. What has been my experience with mental health? Okay, so this is a hard one to talk about really. I'd say probably about 4 or 5 years ago now, I just lost all motivation to do absolutely anything. I just sit in my bed all day, do nothing. I lost so many jobs, lost friends, lost like connections with my family as well at the time. Luckily, they were always there to support me, which is definitely a help. But yeah, just, I don't know where it came from really either. Just lost all motivation, just became like completely stressed about everything, didn't want to do anything. I went to loads of jobs where I'd turn up and not even be able to, I'd be able to drive there, but I would never be able to actually walk into the door. In the past, obviously, like anywhere you go, it's not just cooking. You're always going to have bad days at work and all of that, but like that got to me really, and kind of affected my mentality going in towards something else. And I'd always think that like that happened in the past would happen in the future. Obviously it's just like a mind trick on your brain, which really does suck. But over time, like parents were there, like my girlfriend as well. She, like, her and my parents were always supportive of me, which was really, really good. And that actually got me through it, encouraged me to get on with everything. And Then one day I just decided that like I'm not going to get anywhere in life if I don't pull my finger out and go do it. Which just gave me a whole mentality change. And then I finally found a job where everyone was really, really nice, which is actually the job I'm working at now, and I've been there for 3.5 years. Yeah, everyone was really, really nice. That just made me feel comfortable, and everything changed really from there. All it is literally just a mind trick on your brain. You've really got to tell yourself that what it's telling you up there is not what is actually going to happen. Obviously, I'm not out here to give advice. Everyone's different. Everyone suffers from different things, but that's my take on it. Yeah, it's a tough one to talk about, really. If anyone is struggling, I'd say make sure you ask someone for help, because there is people out there that are specifically designated to help, like people that are suffering with depression and anxiety and all of that, or any mental health issue. And always trying to have someone that's willing to support you. But obviously I understand that some people are stuck on their own, but just got to try and find something that can take your mind off of it. And cooking is definitely one of them that is really, really good for that. Or going for a run, just exercise, just really anything. Like anything can take your mind off it. Just don't sit around and do nothing, because that is just going to make it worse. How tall are you, Big Jack? I'm 6'4". How is the wildlife in Australia, and is there any venomous snakes or spiders on my property? The wildlife's awesome. I usually go for a walk once a week with my parents, and you always see like kangaroos jumping around, koalas in the trees, and sometimes there's some even wild emus. With the spiders and snakes, luckily I don't have snakes on my property, and I've probably only ever seen like 3 wild snakes, like brown snakes, which I'm pretty sure is the second most venomous snake in the world. Yeah, I've probably only seen about 3 of them since I've been here. But spiders, on the other hand, they're absolutely everywhere. Like, I think there's like a huntsman spider, which is like some hairy looking brown thing that's like this big, like the size of my face, in my back garden at the moment. And there's always redbacks out there, which are pretty venomous as well. Have I ever tried cooking Indian food, and what is my favorite dessert? Yeah, definitely with Indian food. I do have to make more on the channel as well. I grew up eating a lot of Indian food. My dad loves to cook it. I love everything about it, all the spices, the freshness, all the different techniques as well. The techniques that you guys have is absolutely incredible. With a dessert, I couldn't really say. I don't really eat many desserts, to be honest with you. I don't mind like profiteroles and stuff like that. It's like pretty old school stuff, but like sometimes the most simplest things are the best things. How did I get into the culinary field, and what was the moment I fell in love with it? Okay, so I'd probably start off with the moment I fell in love with it, because that's what made me want to get into it. With like I said at the beginning, my brother was a qualified chef, and he just showed me all the different things, and seeing him cook in the kitchen just really like ignited a spark for me that made me really want to do it. And like getting into it, it was literally just as simple as contacting a local apprenticeship board, and obviously my brother was able to guide me in the right way. But in Australia, it is really easy to find like apprenticeships or traineeships and stuff like that, so I am very grateful. Do I ever plan to open a restaurant and write a book? Yes to both. With the restaurant, obviously that will come like way in the future, because I have so much planned to do like over the next few years. But definitely I do plan to open a restaurant. And with a book, that is something I do want to do in the next couple of years, because I think that'll be awesome. Like just being able to share like the content with you guys, and obviously I'm making a website as well, but like a book would be like something that you can have that's like kind of special as well. It's not just like reading something off the internet. Can you tell me about the basics of cooking, like getting spices and seasonings right? This is literally all practice. Like you can't obviously expect to be like amazing at something when you first start. Obviously some of us are naturally gifted, but it's literally all trial and error really. Try one thing one time. If you don't like it, see what you can do differently and just adapt from there. That's literally it. Like there's no other way around it. Just, it's one of those sayings, practice makes perfect, I say. What has cooking taught me about myself, and what is my recent learnings in life? I'd say that anything is possible in life if you work hard for it. Nothing comes for free, and always chase your dreams. When am I going to get a meal sent to me via DHL? If this ever becomes a thing, then I don't see why not. What would I cook for someone on a date? I'd obviously try and find out what they like first, but definitely something to do with like a steak, serve them up with some roast potatoes or potato bake, and definitely a creamy mushroom sauce. Can I make some more gluten-free desserts? Yeah, definitely. I've been meaning to do this for a while. do like a dietary series where it does cater for everyone. Obviously, I am very limited on time at the moment, so definitely coming in the future. How long have I lived in Australia? I've been here for 14 years. I moved here when I was 11 and now I'm 25. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? Personally, no, but if you like it, then do it, I suppose. If I wasn't a chef, what would I do? I'd say it's probably something to do with cars because that is like my second passion, and I always like to play like soccer or football for English people. Yeah, just something to do with either cars or sport, I reckon. Do I have a proper degree in cooking? Yeah, I do. What school did I learn to cook at? The first school was called HGT, which is short for Hospitality Group Training. It's just like a cooking school for anyone that wants to take on an apprenticeship. Unfortunately, that went into liquidation, and then I went to a new place called CEG, which is short for Careers Employment Group, and they are pretty much the same as HGT, just take you on board. You go to training probably about once a month, and you also do your apprenticeship in a certain establishment where over the period of my time, I did a lot in pubs, so cooking burgers, steaks, fish, chips, all that type of stuff. Then I moved into cafes, moved into fine dining, done a lot of different stuff really. So I'm pretty fortunate to be able to have like a whole load of different aspects of cooking. How do I bring out more flavor in the mushrooms that I want to use for a pasta? Okay, so roasting definitely helps. If you roast them before you add them to the pasta, that would definitely help. Brings out more flavor. And you could also make sure that your pan is very, very hot before you add your mushrooms in, because if you add them in slowly, they'll just steam in their own moisture, which actually loses out in flavor and they become like a soggy mess. Whereas if your pan's nice and hot, get it nice and smoking hot, it will seal that moisture in, and then just there'll be like more burst of flavor from each bite that you get. Also, I'd recommend adding a little bit of butter into them as well. You can start them off in a little bit of oil, or you can start them off in butter. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I usually start them off in a bit of oil, fry them off for a minute, and then add in the butter, which just melts away and then just really creates like a nice little caramelized flavor on the outside of the mushrooms, and you really do get to enjoy all of the flavor on that. Okay, so for the first announcement, some of you may be aware that I've been creating a website over about the past 6 months. It's going to display all of my recipes with printable options on there, and you'll also be able to change up the recipes. So just say you were originally going to serve it for 2 people and you wanted maybe 3 or 4, you can actually click like +1, +2, and it will calculate the recipe for you, which I think is a really cool idea. There's going to be a tips and tricks section that will show you how to debone a chicken, how to fillet a fish, how to scale a fish, how to make pasta, stuff like that. But that bit will be coming in the future. And there's also going to be a store section that will be coming in the future, which will hopefully have a book that I've finally created, and also merchandise if you guys are interested. So make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. But other than that, the website will be launched in very late January or very early February. I've been doing it completely myself. I've been learning as I go, so there might be a few little hinders here and there, but make sure you guys let me know if there's any problems. But other than that, that's it for the website. And for the second announcement, over the past year and a half, you guys have given me absolutely everything, so now it's my time to give back to you. And I'm going to be launching my first ever giveaway, which will go live from the moment you're watching this video. And the giveaway is going to be the pots and pans that I use on the channel, which is the Still 5-piece per Vita set. In this set, you'll get the skillet that I use, the large saucepan that I use, the stock pot that I use, so I hope you guys have been saving those scraps for a stock, the small saucepan as well, and also the steamer basket that fits over the large saucepan, which I actually use as a colander, but it is also a fantastic steamer. To enter the giveaway, all you have to do is click the link in the description below and it will take you exactly where you need to go. There's no age requirements, it's completely free, and anyone in the world can enter. There is a couple of little things to do, such as like visit me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and obviously the more times you do that, the more entries you're going to gain. And also, I just wanted to put out a little disclaimer that this product's been completely bought by me. There's no sponsorships, endorsements, or any product placements. So it's literally me giving back to you. Anyway, that's me signing out for the year. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas and New Year's, spend loads of time with loved ones, and eat some amazing foods. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell notification next to it so you never miss one I upload. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe and enjoy.
Should old acquaintance be forgot?